If you don't know how to do your makeup, keep watching because this is Makeup 101 and I'm going to teach you guys how to do your makeup step by step. In the last video, I showed you guys how to do your skin prep and your base. So today we're going to be doing contour, bronzer, and blush. First, we're going to start with contour. This is the step where you're going to go ahead and define any areas that you want to define, any areas that you want to chisel. And it's important to note that contour is different than bronzer. Bronzer is more warm tone while contour is more cool toned. Contour is basically going to define the shadows of your face while bronzer is going to give you warmth. So for contour, I like to kind of make this face and follow along the natural shadows that you already see. Just like that. And under the cheekbone as well. Same thing on this side. I like to also contour my nose, so I'm going to make my nose appear thinner by focusing the product on the side, underneath, and right above. Obviously, your contour is going to depend on your preferences, your nose shape, what you want to define, and then a little bit on the outer edge of the eye to lift. Now for blending, you just want to tap the product in. Again, always tapping, never swiping, making sure that you're keeping the product exactly where you placed it, and that just enhanced the natural shadow. It looks so much more defined. For the nose, I like to use a smaller brush so I can be more precise. This is the Patrick Ta nose contour brush, but you can use an eyeshadow brush also. Same for this area. And that's your contour. It's not very prominent like bronzer is. It's not going to show up a bunch, but it is going to define those shadows and make you look more snatched. And now for bronzer, the placement is going to be very different. This is just going to go ahead and warm up your face. So you're going to want to use it on the higher points, kind of where the sun would naturally hit. Not under the cheekbone, but basically right on it. Just like that, and around the forehead because it's where I would naturally get some color. A little bit under the chin just to harmonize everything. For blending, same technique, always tapping the brush and focusing it where you placed the product, so higher up on the cheekbones again. You have your contour down here following the shadows, and then you have your bronzer above. Tapping the product into the hairline as best as possible and connecting it right over here at the temple. See, now this brought a bunch of warmth back into our skin. We look a little bit more alive, like we got a tan. And just to know, I don't always contour. Sometimes I just use bronzer. You don't necessarily have to do both. Just do whatever you prefer. And now for blush, which is indeed my favorite part. There's ways to play around with your blush placement, lift your face, make your face look a little rounder. I'm using the Patrick Ta She's So LA blush. I'm gonna pick up some product with my brush. I personally like to put my blush a little bit higher on my cheeks, starting on the apples of the cheeks and then bringing it up to lift my face. Same technique. This is my favorite way to apply blush. I feel like it looks the most natural. On this side, I'm going to show you guys the look of keeping it more in the center. For this side, you'll want to smile, really see that cheek. I don't know if you can tell much of a difference, but this side to me looks much more lifted, and it's the way I prefer it, but honestly they both look very cute. And that's it for your contour, bronzer, and blush. Once again, remember, practice makes perfect, and just have fun with it because makeup has no rules. Stay tuned for part 3 where I'm going to show you guys the rest.